Welcome, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, to your weekly July 1st through 7th astrology forecast. So this first week of July is like plugging into a lightning bolt. There's a lot of unexpected shifts, breakthroughs in love and finances, and the beginning of a major collective revolution as Uranus enters Gemini. Hi, I'm Sarah with Life with Training Wheels, where we explore astrology, tarot, and other spiritual growth tools to help you stay grounded and inspired while you ride the waves of transformation. If that sounds like something you might enjoy, hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos that I put out, whether astrology, tarot, or other stuff. So also I would highly recommend, before we get into your specific forecast, that you go ahead and watch the collective video that I did right here. But otherwise, let's go ahead and get into it. So just for a recap of what I did cover, it's fine that this is July 2nd and I haven't posted this until now because it's really quiet July 1st through the 3rd. When stuff starts really popping off is July 4th, along with the fireworks. So July 4th, we have Venus in Taurus, conjunct with Uranus in Taurus, both at the final degree. This is pretty big. And then shortly after that, Venus will enter Gemini, and Neptune is going to be stationing retrograde. Then on July 6th, Venus will be making a sextile to Saturn and Neptune in Uranus, Saturn and Neptune in Aries. And then July 7th, Uranus is going to follow Venus into Gemini, and Venus in Gemini will make a trine to Pluto in Aquarius. So Venus is very active this month for you, as well as Gemini. So Venus and all it represents, as well as whatever house it rules, will be very active for you, as well as whatever house Gemini is in. So we're going to take a look at that now. All right, Libra. So the main themes for you this week is going to be deep transformation, education, and inner truth. And that is because we start out this week, July 4th, with Venus and Uranus meeting up in Taurus in your 8th house at 29 degrees. So with this, you could have intense shifts around intimacy, shared resources, or emotional entanglements could surface. You also may crave, because Uranus is the planet of like liberation and freedom and breaking out of the box. So you may crave more freedom or financial independence. This also could bring, since 8th house is shared resources, this could bring, potential wins or something from investments that you have, or sudden, potentially a bonus that your significant other, somebody that you share resources with, maybe they have a sudden increase in income, or, this is also like where inheritances come through, some type of winning, maybe a tax refund comes through, that, something like that could happen as well. Venus will enter Gemini and light up your 9th house with wanderlust and big ideas. Gemini, or the 9th house, is like our belief systems, our higher education, teachers, whether it's finding a teacher or becoming a teacher. So, you might have some big ideas about any of those things, and just like bringing more like magnetism, more love, more things to that area of your life. This is also long distance travel. So maybe, and Venus is going to be here for the entire month. So, this could be a good time this month could be a good time to do some traveling with a partner. It's also represents like foreign lands and foreign people, or people that are just very different from us. So it could be that you meet somebody that is very different from you, and it's, you know, a good connection that could. So keep your eyes out for that type of stuff all month long, with Venus being in your ninth house. And let's see. Okay, and then also on the 4th, we have Neptune stationing retrograde in your 7th house, which encourages reevaluation of romantic or business partnerships through like a clearer, more grounded lens, because Neptune can kind of foggy things up, cloud things up. It is where we can be too idealistic, too unrealistic, things like that. And when Neptune turns retrograde, sometimes there can be a little bit more fog, but also there can be a little bit more clarity. We turn more inward and kind of do have this reevaluation period. So that can be good. And then we have Venus in the ninth house, making a sextile to Saturn and Neptune in your 7th house of relationships. So perhaps you do meet somebody that is a little different than you, or you meet a teacher or a mentor or something like that, that perhaps a collaboration starts. Maybe it was something that you know, had already happened, and with Neptune, maybe you were seeing the situation a little more idealistic than what was in reality. And so now you're being able to see it for what it is and decide whether or not with Saturn you want to build something there, or just a change in beliefs, reevaluation of beliefs surrounding relationships and things like that. So then we have, so then we also have at the end of the week, Venus in your ninth house, making a trine to Pluto in Aquarius in your 5th house, which one of the things the 5th house is the house of romance. So I feel like this is going to be, could potentially be a big week for uh, romance or just relationships in general for you. Which also makes sense because Venus does rule you. So this week is really, even though it's not happening in your 1st house, Venus is your ruler. So this is all about you. So really, it makes sense that relationships will be really big. But it could be, you know, it could be a mentor. With Venus being in the 9th house, it could be that you come across a mentor or a teacher, or that you mentor somebody else, or that there's a higher education opportunity where you meet somebody, or meeting somebody that is very different from you, like I already said. So then the big thing, the big collective shift that we have going on is Uranus moving into Gemini. So this will probably be pretty nice. This will actually be really great because Venus, Uranus in your 9th house is in a trine to you, and Uranus, or the 9th house, is the luckiest house. So over the next 7 to 8 years, while Uranus is making its transit through Gemini, it's going to be trining you. So Uranus can often bring with it ups and downs, right? It's where we want to break out of the box. It's where we want to liberate ourselves from something. And it is also the planet of unexpected shifts and shocks and things like that. But with it being in your 9th house, it's a very protective energy. So you're going to be protected with this over the next 7 to 8 years. I would recommend I keep your eye out for a video that I'm going to be putting out. I don't know when yet, but of Uranus going through all the signs. That is a goal of mine to get that out, and I'll go into a lot more detail. But yeah, it's trining you, so this is going to be a good a good time, a good 7 to 8 years for you, and should be much relief from having Uranus and all these shakeups and ups and downs in your 8th house of finance, shared resources, intimacy, and yeah. So it should be a lot smoother sailing for you over the next 7 to 8 years than the last 7 to 8 years have been in that regard. But with it being in the 9th house, you could have a lot of new, there could be breaks, completely new. With it being in your 9th house, you could have breakthroughs and completely like paradigm shifting things happen in your belief system. You could, want to learn something entirely new than anything else you've been interested in before. You may teach when you've never thought you were going to teach before. You may reach out to a mentor when you've never thought you were going to do that before. Uranus brings those types of things. So I think all that sounds quite exciting, and I'm excited to hear how your next 7 to 8 years go. But hopefully it will be, a bit of a relief from Uranus having been in Taurus in your house of intimacy and shared resources and all the ups and downs that have, and transformations really that have come from that. So now I am going to pull a tarot card. Okay, so I am using my Light Seers tarot deck. And the question that I'm asking for everybody this week is, with all this Uranus energy causing potentially, some shakeups, some unexpected things happening, not that they're bad, they should all be good. But it still, when unexpected things happen, when even if it's just a sudden insight, like it can be a little jarring, And then Uranus also rules our nervous system. So a lot of us might be feeling, especially you as Libra Rising, with there being the conjunction to Uranus, or not, yeah, Libra Rising. You might feel the nervous tension that Uranus can bring a little bit more than others, since it is meeting up with Venus, your ruler. So how can we, with this instability and unpredictable energy, and with what may or may not be going on in our nervous systems, how can we stay grounded this week? So, especially this weekend. How can my Libra risings stay grounded? All right. Pretty good card. 3 of Cups. So it is suggesting that the way that Libra, Sun, Moon, and Risings can stay grounded the best this week is to lean into their friendships, lean into the celebration, kind of lean into the energy that's popping, right? Maybe you don't need to ground it in as much as other people. Maybe the way that you ground it in is by releasing the energy, by having a lot of fun with your friends, by celebrating, by this is a card of celebration and coming together and things like that. So how you ground in more than anybody else is by being social, and maybe that's where you're going to meet these people. So really also the message with that, just thinking about how Venus is moving into your 9th house, you have this 7th house and 5th house activation. So really, yeah, just leaning into your people and your relationships. And if you meet somebody new, kind of like lean into that energy, and that is actually going to help you ground in this energy. So don't run away from it, just lean more into it. I hope that is helpful, and if that resonates with you, please drop a comment below. And that is pretty much what I've got for you. So this week kicks off some seriously big shifts, and if you're feeling it, you are not alone. I've got a few offers to help you move through it all if you're interested in it. One is just, if you're somebody that doesn't quite know whether you should look at your rising sign, sun sign, or moon sign, or how much importance you should place on each one of those. Maybe you feel like you should resonate with one more than another and you just don't, or vice versa. If that is something that you've always been curious about, I do have a short 15-minute reading that you can book with me where I look at your chart and look at things like whether you were born at night versus day and just the configuration of your chart to determine kind of which of those you most likely resonate with the most and would get the most benefit out of listening if you only have time to listen to one forecast each week or each month or whatever your strategy for listening to these things is. The other thing, if you want to have me look at your chart just to see how these particular transits are activating your natal chart in particular, if you're really feeling this energy very strongly and struggling with it or anything like that, I can look at your chart and determine if it is engaging with any of your natal planets and kind of give you a little guide as to how to deal with the energy and just confirm what's going on. And then I also have launched my July Tarot for Growth challenge, daily challenge. This is my third month doing one of these challenges. And so I post a daily tarot question over in the community tab. Sometimes I will do a collective reading on the question, but it's really a tool to dive into, some shadow work or just really dive into understanding yourself. These questions are meant to do that. And this month I'm super excited because the questions are perfectly aligned with the astrology and help us ground in the astrology. So I think it's beautiful. I'd love for you to join me in there and comment, if you pull your own cards, what you're getting, how the questions, what you think of the questions. And then when I do the collective readings, I'd love to have you comment on that as well. And then I don't know if you've watched the summer solstice and Cancer season video that I did where I talk about how the summer solstice energy kind of is the energetic blueprint for the entire summer season. And so I go over that chart specifically and created several offers surrounding the summer season. One is a free downloadable journal prompt. I think there's like 7 journaling questions. And then I also have a 29-page guided workbook to help align you with the energy of the season. I have 2 different tiers of astrology readings and a tarot reading available specifically for the energy of the summer solstice and the summer season. And then I also am continuing to promote and talk about my men's mental health package and services available. Men's Mental Health Awareness Month was in June, but June is not the only month that men struggle with mental health. So I'm continuing those offers, and it's really just the offers are to help men understand their emotional landscape, as well as the strengths that they have. But our society doesn't really want men to be emotional or acknowledge their emotions or anything like that. We want them to always be stoic and things. And really, I just want to be a witness to men and help them understand that they do have emotions, a range of them. It's not just anger, and accept that there are more emotions than that, and just kind of guide them to understand what their personal emotional landscape is and how to navigate it better, and to again just be a witness to them, because I don't think we do that enough. um, and then I do have a partner add-on for it based on their astrology chart, how their significant other or partner or anybody in their life that wants to support them, like a little guide on how when they're really going through it, how you can support them the best based on their makeup. Um, so I'm excited to be offering those things. And so the link for the description for all those things is below. And if anything in this video resonated, drop a comment. Let me know your rising sign, what you're excited for this week, what you're nervous for. And I do love hearing from you. And I really just thank you for watching. And remember, this week isn't just happening to you, it is happening for you. And you've got this. So until next time, stay grounded, stay open, and keep listening to your inner compass.